How's it going, everybody? Thank you for coming back to the channel. My name is David Aguilar, or you may know me as Ariel Austin. And happy St. Patrick's Day to every single one of you. It's one of my favorite holidays of all time, and today we're doing a Q&A. But I won't be completely alone on this. As you can tell, I got a few friends with me. So yesterday, I told y'all on Instagram that for every new subscriber I got, I would be taking a shot of whiskey. Luckily, we got 4 new subscribers to this channel. I'm so happy about that, because that means I don't have to take more than 4 shots. But not only that, for every question you guys sent me, I was gonna be taking a sip of this delicious Guinness right here. So we got a little bit over 10 questions, so it's gonna be a good show today, and we got some good questions going on. So let's start with pouring this Guinness. Now, I've never had Guinness from a can, so I'm gonna do a traditional Guinness pour. Ooh, that was that nitro. That was that nitro coming out. All right, so traditional Guinness pour, hold it at about a 45-degree angle, fill it up about 60%, let it sit for a few minutes, like about a minute or two, and then you pour the rest in. So, oh yeah, you see that? How great that looks. All right, let that sit. So the first shot of whiskey is going to be the Dewar's White Label. Now this is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. I've drank this one multiple times, and it just has such a great flavor. Super smooth, has like a nice, oak taste to it. So my wife and I, Alyssa, we're doing the measurement, and 1 shot is 3 tablespoons. Got my tablespoons with me. So here comes the first shot. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is the first shot of the Dewar's. Look at how beautiful that looks. And this one was, I think, $18. So if you guys are looking for a good Scotch whiskey, I highly recommend it. Bottoms up. Delicious. All right, I'm gonna finish pouring the rest of this Guinness. So all you want to do is just top it off. Get that nice head going. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Bam. Look at that creaminess. All right, I'm ready for the Guinness stash. So you're gonna let that sit for a bit, and let's get to the first question. Well, the first question is, what is your favorite type of beer? Now, funny, Guinness is a stout, and one of my favorite types of beer of all time is stouts. I'm a big stout lover, and when you get a Guinness traditionally poured in a bar by somebody who knows how to pour Guinness, there's nothing better than a freshly poured Guinness, because it's so thick and foamy and you get it all over your stash. It's one of the best things in the world. Great feeling, and it looks very, very attractive. But I would say another one of my favorite stouts is the Old Rasputin, which is an insane beer. And if you ever are able to get that on nitro, it is insane. And then I would say probably another one of my favorite beers is by Founders, which is the KBS Breakfast Stout. So I'm a big stout lover. I love stouts. So cheers to this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you see? Look at that. It's dribbling down. See, if you're drinking Guinness, you need to have a mustache, because it just makes it so much better. But yeah, that's my favorite type of beer. I'm a big stout lover. But living in Texas, I mean, it's hot all the time, so you really can't enjoy a stout. Stouts are meant for cold weather, so that's why I'm a big lover of when it gets cold here. And by cold, I mean like 70, 60 degrees. I ain't talking about 20 or 30 degrees, all right? I'm talking about 60, 50 at most. To have a nice stout around the fire, it's the best. But because I live in Texas, especially Austin, Texas, where the beer flows like water, one of my favorite beers to drink are definitely either IPAs or double IPAs, because they're so delicious and fruity and tropical. Hefeweizens are another favorite of mine, or even like Mexican lagers are so good. Pint House Pizza, which is here in Austin, Texas, has one of the best Mexican lagers. So those are my recommendations for beers. All right, Moving on to the next question. Oh yeah, so delicious. Next question. Who is your favorite YouTuber? Oh my goodness. All right, so since I started doing my YouTube journey, one thing I've tried to do is not be on YouTube so much and watch other influencers, because it's so easy when you're consuming content to copy that content or be inspired by that content. So I try not to watch a lot of creators when I'm on YouTube. I watch other stuff, or I watch podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But I would say a few of my favorite YouTubers, of course, Casey Neistat. He's one of the people who really got me into vlogging, into having a camera in my hands and capturing my day. He, of course, everyone knows he's one of the GOATs of vlogging and just doing this type of content. But another one who's been a really big favorite of mine has been Peter Lindgren out in Sweden, I think he is. I always forget. But yeah, I think a lot of the content he's been doing is great, especially the last couple of years. I've really just kept up with him in his journey. And I feel like he's just done so many good strides in making vlogs and just creating content, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube. I think he's doing such a good job, and I love watching his vlogs when I have time now. Especially with Jordan, we'll be sitting down on the couch sometimes and I'll be watching Peter's vlogs with him. But another one, of course, is Peter McKinnon. Talk about a GOAT. Peter McKinnon is somebody who really elevated vlogs for me, because just the way he was capturing B-roll and just the stories he was telling was so good. And another one would be Jesse Driftwood. Jesse Driftwood was someone who went from Instagram and creating Instagram stories to going onto YouTube, and I'm a huge fan of his transitions, his storytelling, the way he does his visuals. Jesse Driftwood to me is somebody who really inspired me as I was beginning my journey in creating content on Instagram. So those are a few of my favorite YouTubes. Matty Hapoya is another one. So if you take anybody from the Dope Squad, I love them. I think the Dope Squad is great. Quick note, should I start a Dope Squad here in Austin, Texas? I don't know. Comment below who I should make a part of the Dope Squad here in Austin, Texas. If you want to be a part of the Dope Squad, comment below, or tag me on Instagram at Ariel Austin to somebody who you think should be part of the Dope Squad in Austin. Make a Texas version. All right, we're gonna move on to another shot. All right, bottoms up. Cheers. All right, next question. How many tattoos do you have? Damn, do you really want me to answer that question? I would say definitely about 15, and that's giving you a rough estimation. The majority of them are on my arms. I have one on my chest, which I can't really show you because I have the mic on. I have one on my chest, I have one on my calf, and then one on my ankle. So those are the only ones that I have besides the ones on my arm, and then I have this one on my hand. So this one is a beer mug. And the joke is, this was my drinking hand. As you can tell, I always have a beer in this hand. So I thought I would get a tattoo on my hand of a beer mug. Cheers. The stash, man. The stash is getting all that. Oh, goodness, is so good. We'll take another one, because that wasn't a full swig. All right, so we'll do another one. Oh, speaking of stashes, and I got this one asked a few times from you guys. What would be the one reason for you to cut or shave your mustache? The only reason I will ever shave or cut my mustache is if my wife tells me to. And to be 100% honest with you guys, she doesn't want me to shave it. She doesn't want me to touch it. Even when I bring it up jokingly that I'm gonna do it, she gets mad at me. So the stash is gonna stay around for a while. I don't know how long. I actually just trimmed it the other day. And I'm pretty sure you guys can't tell because it's always covering my mouth. So I trimmed it, just kind of like kept the edges tight, gave it a little bit of shape, as you can tell, I also shaved this part of it. So yeah, I would never cut or shape my mustache unless my wife tells me. And to me, that's the golden rule. If she approves, then it's a go. If she disapproves, then it's a thumbs down. She approved of me drinking all this whiskey, so that's a plus. All right, on to the next round of questions, and you know what that means. Another shot. I'm not somebody who really drinks a lot, or, ooh, did you hear that? Ooh. Wow, put that right to the mic so you can hear it. But yeah, I don't really drink that much. I usually drink at home, unless I go to Treaty Oaks, then I will have a few drinks. But even then, I don't drink a lot of whiskey straight up. When I go out, I'll probably have a couple drinks and that's about it, because of course I'm with family and I'm just trying to hang out. But when I'm at home, I do like to pour maybe a couple of glasses of a little bit of whiskey. And it's always fun when I get to try new whiskeys and scotches and all that. So I'm glad that I get to do this on camera, because y'all can tell by this smile on my face that I really love Patties. Patties, if you ever want to sponsor this channel, I wouldn't see any reason why you would want to, but I am more than open to carrying your product. That's not an actual pour. There it is. Bam. One more. Because, like I said, I remember when I first tried Patties, it was, when I was first getting into scotches and whiskeys and stuff like that, especially Irish whiskeys. And it was a little rough in the beginning, but like I said, after I started pairing it with cigars and kind of getting a feel for it, I ended up really, really liking it. And like I said, even to this day, $20 for this bottle. $20 for this bottle. And the reason that I drink Patties, here's a little story behind why, while I take a little shot. So good. So good. It has like a nice little caramel finish. Pretty sweet. Again, if you're not into a lot of Irish whiskeys or Scotch whiskeys, it's going to take a little while to get used to, but oh my goodness, is it good. But the reason that I chose this and the reason why I started buying Patties is because my wife and I had gone to New York a few years ago, and we went to a bar in New York that was an Irish pub, and our bartender was literally a dude from Ireland. So, after a couple drinks, I asked him, I was like, what are some of the whiskeys that locals drink in Ireland? Like, I want to drink what the Irish drink. I love the Irish. To me, the Irish are some of the best people. I think I'm partly Irish, but I tell people that Mexicans are just brown Irish people, or Irish are just light-skinned Mexicans. So there you go. And he told me that one of the whiskeys that so many locals in Ireland drink is Patties. And so ever since he told me that, I've been buying Patties. On to the next question. Am I turning red? Am I like blushing or fuzz? I don't know, right? On to the next question. Do you think you can handle 2 babies? Do you think I could take them like in a fight? Or can I handle them like in my arms? Either way, yes, I can beat up 2 babies at a time, or I can hold 2 babies at a time, whichever you prefer. But as many of you know, I just had my first son and my first child, and his name is Jordan. And he is such a great big joy, and it's been so awesome being a father and interacting with him and getting to know him. And just, it's only been a little over 2 months. I think it's like 2 months and 2 weeks. And it's so crazy because he's grown so fast. And so to the question, do I think I can handle 2 babies? Yeah, not right now, especially, maybe when he's 1 or 2 years old, we'll have another child, so he can have a sibling. But yeah, definitely I can handle 2 babies, because at the end of the day, it's just really getting to know them. And I think that's one thing I've really enjoyed about being a father, is it allows you to be more joyful and happier and more silly. I think I'm a silly person just in general, and I think I'm funny. But with Jordan, I just feel like I want to do everything to make him smile. I want to do everything to make him laugh. And if there's 2 babies, I think I would be acting a fool all day and probably dressing up in weird costumes and making weird noises and just, trying to make them laugh and showing them what happiness looks like. So do I think I can handle 2 babies? 100% yes. Forgot to take a swig of the Guinness. As you can tell, we're about halfway done, which is good, because I think we're almost halfway through the question. So, next question. Then this same person back to back. How do you rate your babysitting experience? So, my babysitting experience as me being a babysitter, I think I'm great. But the part that is a little frustrating, which you don't get when they're your children, is there are some frustrating times in being a parent. And I think even with Jordan, it's great when you're babysitting kids, because sometimes they don't really know you, so they act on their best behavior, or they do know you and they know that you're somebody to have fun with, so they act silly and they expect it to be fun. But when you have a baby and you're with them 24/7, or you're with them, throughout the day and throughout the night, you hit these points where they're being real fussy or they cry a lot, and it really tests your patience. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend being a parent. If you're thinking about it, babies are awesome and they're super cute. And I will tell you this much: if you were to have a baby, you need to get a better phone plan or a better phone with more memory, because you will be taking pictures of your child all the time, and it's just gonna happen. Like, it's funny because I remember before we had Jordan, I was, you know, editing drone photos and drone videos. I'm over here like all my phone is just covered in drone shots and stuff like that. And now if you go through my phone, it's just a lot of photos of Jordan laughing, Jordan sleeping, him just being silly, selfies with me and Jordan. So I think being a parent has very much made me into one of those people where you're just like showing your baby photo to everybody and being like, look at my kid, look at my kid, look at my kid. But at the same time, you know, I think that's what parenting is all about. You're reflecting, or you're taking your gaze off of yourself and you're directing it to your child because you want to give them attention. You know, no longer is it about you, it's about them. And so I think parenting is awesome, and I think I'm a great babysitter. All right, next question. How did you become a photographer? So I became a photographer by being a coffee roaster. So I was a coffee roaster and a barista. And while I was working in the coffee shop, I started just taking my phone out and taking pictures of coffee and everything that I was doing. And they had asked me to run their social media, this company. And so when they asked me to run their social media, I thought to myself, well, I need to get a camera and I need to be like good at it. And so I bought my first camera, which was a Sony A5100, which is a great camera, and I think it's still pretty cool. And so I bought that camera from Best Buy for $250. It was a steal. That's another story that's insane. But I bought a A5100 for $250 from Best Buy. And I just started taking photos, you know, and videos, and little by little, you know, learning iMovie and editing on iMovie. And then when people started asking me to make videos for them, I started learning how to do Premiere Pro, and then I got hired as a videographer for a company, and I just started branching out from there. So it was just me saying yes to a lot of things I couldn't do. So many people were saying, can you do this? Can you do this? I want this video, I want that video. And I would just tell people, oh yeah, send me references, send me references. And I had no idea what I was doing. and sometimes I look back, maybe I'll do a video of me watching like older videos that I edited, but I would look back at these videos and I'm just like, people paid me for this? Seriously? I was making money for editing on iMovie? It's insane. But you know, seeing people's confidence in my work was really encouraging. It really motivated me to pursue being a videographer and a photographer. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what I pursued, and that's what I do now. And I love it more than anything because I'm able to capture people's stories. So I've done weddings before, and I've done engagements, and I've done, you know, dog photos, and I've done so many types of videos and photography. And the thing that I enjoy about it most is being able to share that moment with someone else. Being able to know that I'm capturing somebody's memory and I'm sharing it with them in such a way that it makes that memory so much better. You know what I mean? Like, when you edit a video or photos for somebody, like, they remember it in a certain way, but adding your creative twist to it makes them probably remember it more than they thought they would. So I really love my journey as a photographer, and maybe I'll tell that story a little bit more. And it wasn't easy. I mean, it was difficult. It was trial and error over and over again, like learning how to edit photos, learning how to edit videos, getting LUTs offline and getting presets offline, and just messing around and trying to do all these things while getting paid for it. Like, I felt very irresponsible, but at the end of the day, the client always liked the product that I was putting out. So that's what allowed me to continue doing what I was doing, because people were paying me to do it. And so when people were paying me to do it, I was on YouTube learning from Maddie and Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat and all these people that I admire, because at the end of the day, you know, I think we learn best by imitating. And so imitating the people that I admired allowed me to create my own style, especially with drones. And drones is a whole nother world, a whole different aspect of photography and videography and capturing a story and telling the story. And that's something that I really liked exploring, because I felt like, especially in Austin, but even just throughout social media, I wouldn't really see so many people posting drone videos and drone photos. Every now and then it would pop up on my feed, and every now and then people were posting it, but so many photographers really love cameras. And I was somebody who really enjoyed drones. And so when I created my account and I went with Ariel Austin, I put myself in a corner for a purpose, because I wanted to be somebody who elevated the drone photography and videography niche. I felt like nobody was really doing it. Nobody was stepping up and saying, hey, I'll make drones my main thing, you know? And so I thought I would do that for the city of Austin. And man, thank you so much for a lot of y'all for showing me love. Like, so many of y'all comment and like and share my stuff, and you message me and you tell me like how great my work is, or you ask me for advice. And that's how I'm able to do these videos, because so many of y'all interact with me. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, Ariel Austin, shameless plug. But yeah, so the journey to being a photographer and becoming especially a drone photographer and videographer, as you can tell by my speech, it kind of kicked in. But it's been really, really good. And especially in the city like Austin, the last few years, Austin's been blowing up and getting like crazy, and people are moving here from all over the place. So it's really cool being able to be someone who so many people go to my page because they want to learn more about Austin. And so it's been really great, just the journey of being a photographer and videographer. I think if you have a passion for it, or you even have a desire to begin, just do it. And who cares what people tell you? Because at the end of the day, it's your story, it's your vision, it's your creativity that you're putting forward. And if people like it, then keep doing it. That's what I say. One more shot. I'm probably gonna regret this in the morning. There you go. Glub, 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 glub. There's one. Glub, 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 glub. There's two. Glub, 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 glub. And there's three. So this wasn't it, you know. Now, this is straight from the hip. This is straight from the pocket. This is an audible. I'm calling this right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see what happens after today. If you think it's gonna be bad, comment below what you think is gonna happen tomorrow. I'm, you know, St. Patty, this is for you. All right, next question. Do you edit on Photoshop or Lightroom? So, I'm a big Lightroom fan. I love Lightroom. To me, Lightroom is just so much fun. I know Lightroom is pretty much raw on Photoshop, but for whatever reason, I just prefer Lightroom. And I'm somebody who is always editing on the run. And as you guys can tell, I post 3 times a day. So I'm not always sitting at my desk editing photos and editing videos. So I usually save my editing of the videos when I'm home at night, and I'll do like batch editing. But then when I'm on the run and I'm just out and about doing my thing, I'll be editing photos. So I love editing on Lightroom on my phone, and that's my favorite way to edit. So, and I think I made a video of how I edit. If so, I'll link it somewhere over here. But Lightroom is my favorite way to edit my photos over Photoshop. But Photoshop is dope. I just made a new logo, but you will see that in a few weeks. And I hope you like it. Again, follow me, Ariel Austin, Instagram.com or something. I don't know. Okay. Next question says, ¿Cuánto por las nachas, Doña Cuca? Now look, bro, that's my boy Easy. I don't know what that means, especially after 5 shots of whiskey, but yes. All right, last question, and then I'm done. I do have a little bit more Guinness to go, so let me just... That was the teaspoon. Last question. And this one is a tough one. What do you prefer? Editing video or editing photos? Now this is so hard because I really enjoy doing both. Editing video is a blast, mainly because when you're editing a video, you're telling a story. And when you're telling that story, you're using more than one frame, right? A photo is a frame. And so when you're telling a story through video, you're using multiple frames to tell that story. And so I really enjoy editing video because that story progresses in a minute, 15 seconds, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. Right now we're going on 30 minutes. Editing this video is going to be a pain in the ass. But telling that story in video is so much fun because you get to use so many other things to help you tell that story. But the reason I also love photography is because it's one frame, it's one capture, it's one shot. And you only have one shot. I'm not gonna quote Eminem, but you only have one shot to not just capture but to express that moment. And I love that as a photographer. You only have one shot to capture that moment, and you need to pick the perfect shot. You need to take the perfect shot, and you need to edit it right. So it really depends on what I'm shooting or what I'm editing. You know, if it's a wedding, man, I love editing video for weddings because you're like bringing that entire story out, from the groom getting ready and the bride getting ready and the celebration happening and tears and happiness and joy. But if it's like, man, if I'm downtown, or if I'm, you know, at a barbecue event, or if I'm doing something where, you know, you're trying to capture the entirety of the event in one photo, it's so much fun. Like whether it's the food being cooked or the laughter going on or the drinks being cheered, those photos actually turn out really well. So I would say it just depends. It depends on what I'm doing and what I'm capturing, but I love both. And I think that's why I've ended up being such a good content creator, right? To toot my own horn. When I started the journey of being a photographer and videographer, I only did that because I could not focus on one thing. I liked doing photos when I was bored with videos, and then when I was bored with photos, I would do videos. And so the reason I think I'm a good content creator and a good influencer is because I could create multiple things, but it just comes off of a mind who is like, okay, I'm having fun here. I'm bored there. Let me go over here. Okay, great. I'm bored with that. Let me jump back over here. And so I would say if you have ADHD, rather than taking medical pills that may harm you, get into editing videos and photos because it may make you successful. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Look, I only have a little bit more Guinness. Let me take another swig. It wouldn't be right for me to end a video with this much Guinness in my cup. So you guys know that I was serious. Empty glass. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you stayed here until the end of this video, please comment below because I would be so surprised. And thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing. Follow me on Instagram. And I promise I'm going to make more content. Again, having a newborn baby, it's pretty difficult to make as much content as I want to, but I'm going to continue to try. So until next time, I will see you on the flip side. Peace out.